Yeah, nigga, I'ma eat. Swear to God, I'ma eat. I'ma get it in these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'm a beast. Swear to God, I'm a beast. I'ma moving on these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. I'm just that nigga who ruling. I swear to God, I'm not losing. I'm here to gas and no cruising. She like it fast while she moving. I'm in the game and I'm crushing. Ain't no loving and hugging. I want the money, I'm coming. If I gotta pull it, I'm dumping. Ain't no apologies coming. You wanna run it, we run it. I mean, it's really that simple. Yeah, it's really that simple. I'm the Mac and I know what I know. I really don't show it. I hit your girl with a line and have her naked and posing. I be smiling and waving. They say my voice sound amazing. I think they love me like Jalen and then I kill them like Kaden. I'm the myth and the legend. Came from the lowest of peasants. I hit the podium running. So when I speak, it's so reverent. Cause I'm the king just like David. If I want it, no waiting. You know what time it is, baby. You know I aim with the waiting. All my niggas is kings. All my bitches is queens. You can feel some type of way, but we live in the dream. Nigga, I'ma eat. Swear to God, I'ma eat. I'ma get it in these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'm a beast. Swear to God, I'm a beast. I'ma moving on these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild.
Gotta get it, ain't no second thinking. Talking about the only eating I'm doing speaking. I'm on my way to reaching my goals and such. Might seem crazy, but I'm not even asking for much. Plus I'm sipping and it's like I'm always on one. Lately I've been hearing there's nothing new under the sun. And that's how I've been seeing life. I gotta get it to where I'm not worried about the price. I've been trending, yep, I've been leaning. Styles around, I just wasn't paying attention. But now I got a feeling that I'ma make them feel it, I'm appealing. I practically show it in every sentence. This shit way bigger than me could only imagine. From now on I'm charging the fee, summer I'm taxing. I'm the only one I could be do it with a passion. How far I tend to go, I'ma see, can only imagine.
Nigga, I'ma eat. Swear to God, I'ma eat. I'ma get it in these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'm a beast. Swear to God, I'm a beast. I'ma moving on these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. I'm the tightest MC to ever touch the mic. Rush the mic like many waters crush the mic. Yo, I'm the illest MC to ever bleed the mic. Breathe the mic. When I spit, I feed the mic. Ain't nobody in here worthier than me tonight. And if you think so, then you best to flee the mic. I be fly. I'ma make it sting tonight. I hit hard like an anvil and Iron Mike. I'm legendary. You can call me MJ. Even PJ. Recognize my namaste. And Creole. You might say I'm grungu. I'm serious. But yo, I'm having fun too. I crush more. And that will make them rush more. Yo, I'm the people's champ. That's what all the fuss for. I sing hard. That's what all the buzz for. You think I'm good? Well, obviously I'm much more. Yeah, nigga, I'ma eat. Swear to God, I'ma eat. I'ma get it in these streets, yeah, nigga, I'm a beast. Swear to God, I'm a beast. I'ma moving on these streets, yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild.
What am I in the kitchen? Even though they're not my kids, but they are my kids. I mean, I'm there for my kids. I'm the only father they know. So I've been doing the best that I can with this whole situation.
One thing I'm not gonna do.
All right, the doctor walks in and tells me I'm in good health, but I'm sterile. I'm like, talking about I'm sterile. I got 3 kids. I don't make no damn sense to me. I don't understand. I'm sterile. I don't know. It blows my mind. You know, I got 3 kids. One's 15, one's 12, one's 7. So I'm like, I don't understand that. So anyway, I go home and I just start thinking, it's gotta be my kids. But I started thinking about the fact that every time we watch, like those Ancestry.com commercials, they come on and my wife kind of always turns the channel. I'm like, why you always turn it? I notice you always turn the channel. She's like, those are stupid. They don't even work. And I'm like, anyway, I started really thinking, I'm like, if I'm sterile, and the doctor said I've always been sterile. It's not like something that, you know, it's always been genetically since I was born. I started thinking, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to go ahead and get these kids tested. You know, I really didn't want to. I wanted to believe that my wife wouldn't do this to me, but I have to get my kids tested. So I secretly get a little sample of all of them. I go to the damn, the Ancestry.com place or whatever. And anyway, get them tested. Then I think about this. My wife got a birthday coming up. We got to throw this big birthday bash. We already been planned on it. So, you know, basically I got the whole birthday bash planned. And then basically what happens is I get all of our families there, birthday bash. I get the popular mixologist in town. Chief of police comes because he works with my wife sometimes at our company. So chief of police, this whole big thing, you know, because I want to make a big splash. It's her birthday, you see? So what ends up happening at a certain point, we bring the big birthday cake out. You know those big birthday cakes you see on the movies? Got one of those big ones. And then I had a woman come out and she hold up the sign that said, "You lying bee." And it blew everyone's mind. It blew her mind. What is this about? What is this about? And I was like, you know what? No, what this is about? It's about the fact that this mixologist is his son. Hey, look, meet your daddy right here. I straight up had to tell him, this is your dad. The chief of police, hey, this is so 15-year-old mixologist, that's his daddy. Chief police, the 12-year-old, that's his daddy. And I mean, I was hurt. I mean, I was so hurt. I decided I just had to sleep in my car, man. I couldn't be in this house. I couldn't be around.
For me. I feel like I join the choir. Shit, I should go to church. Amen. Praise the Lord. Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord. I think I'ma join the choir. Cause we was singing, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, it was wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was singing, yeah. Oh, we was singing, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir. Cause we was singing, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, man, this chicken got real wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was singing, yeah. Oh, we was singing, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir. What you know about losing your best friend, or losing your best man, losing your blood brother from a sister, wishing you can free him again. All the real niggas put y'all hands in the air for the real niggas y'all can lost. All the real niggas chuck y'all gang in the air for all the bitch niggas y'all been taught. Man, this shit got real crazy, feel like we losing niggas on the daily. All I had tears in my eyes, anger said somebody need to die. I was trying to get some get back, they killed my homie of a bitch, nigga. I'll be down, won't get my get back. Let's crack a look at me wrong, that boy about to get his shit pushed back. I think I'ma join the choir. Cause we was singing, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, it was wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was singing, yeah. Oh, we was singing, yeah.
All right. Welcome to the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much. And yeah, man, we about to get into it today, man. Was on a just real quick, man. Was on a great was on a panel with the great Dennis Spurgeon, man, and he did an awesome show today, man. I just want to clap it up for that brother one more time, man. That brother did an amazing job breaking things down, man. But I'm coming to y'all today, man. I'm coming to y'all today, man. I wasn't gonna do the show. I was like, but I'm like, nah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So we don't waste any more time. You know, we already like 15 minutes into it, just warming up here, getting everything set up. Coming back from a panel there. Great discussion, man. Great talk. Young lady went overseas, thought she could raise her voice as a man in a Arab country. She found out the hard way. And that kind of leads me to what, I want to get in today. So allow me to cook for a little bit. Allow me to get this going here. And let's talk about it. Whatever happened to keeping things private? To having a sense of decency, of feeling ashamed for bad behavior? We live in a shameless era. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I right? We live in a shameless era. Reality TV screams, look at me. Social media grants 15 seconds of fame to racists and nudists alike. Celebrities proudly flaunt luxury and excess. Shameful, isn't it? Just shameful, right? Politicians spew lies without blinking. You know, we have apps that promote anonymous bullying. Shame used to regulate society's ethics, y'all, and its etiquette. But it was tossed aside as too repressive and toxic. Can you believe that? Have we gone too far? Though in rejecting shame, have we gone too far? I want you to ask yourself, does society need shame? Is shame good? The S of Shamerica. How you like that? How you like that for a thumbnail, right? The S of Shamerica. Have we gone too far in rejecting shame? Does society need judicious shaming to uphold values and social norms? That's the question we will explore today. It's time to bring back productive forms of shame. It's time to bring back productive forms of shame. There's no getting around it. No ifs, ands, or buts, right? There's no getting around it. Productive shame is vital for upholding societal values and norms. Well, you don't believe me? Well, I'll be right back. Play a couple more clips, and then we'll get into it.
Let me go on record and say this. I think that selling dope is the weakest, dumbest fucking thing a nigga can do. What does it require you to sell dope? Go get you a gun and sell dope until your black ass get locked the fuck up. What the fuck is that? How do we think that's manhood? I don't respect it. I don't respect it. I'm here, still on this fucking earth. I had to go through the same fucking thing every other fucking black man had to go through. I had to deal with every fucking other thing that black men have to go to. And I worked on a fucking farm. I played ball. I went to college. I worked. I sold food. I've never sold no fucking dope. Don't compare yourself to me. You're not a man to me. Don't compare yourself to me. You're a fucking cheater. You're a cheater and a murderer of your own fucking people. Why we keep making this shit better than what it is? It was weak niggas. Weak niggas that was too dumb to get an education. Weak niggas that was too lazy to get a fucking job washing cars. That's what you was. That's what you was. That's what you was.
All right. We're back. This is not going to be a long one, you guys, man. We're going to get right into it, man. But we're talking about, is shame necessary? The function of feeling ashamed. It seems like in America, no one's ashamed anymore. That's what it feels like. I told you I was just on a panel with a young lady who thought that it was okay to travel to an Arab country. She thought it was okay, y'all. Black woman, American black woman, YouTuber, truck driver, right? Probably in her 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s, I don't know. You know, you can't tell with the age of these women, especially black women, right? She went overseas and she thought she could, you know, I mean, if you look at the crime, you're thinking, oh man, you know, raising your voice at a man, you know, she shouldn't be in jail for that. But nonetheless, she's in jail. See, what goes on in America goes on in America, but you don't take America with you when you leave the country. You leave your rights here and your privileges here. And when you travel through someone else's territory, someone else's country, you need to be humble. You need to be overly respectful, overly agreeable, even, you know, because you're a visitor in someone else's country. But what usually happens is, you know, Americans, we take America, you know, we America everywhere we go, don't we? We America to the football game. You know, we America while we're camping. We like to America everywhere we go as Americans. And let's just be real. American culture is a unique culture. It's unique only to us, because outside the country, you'll see very clearly that most countries kind of carry, you know, it's kind of like once you leave America, every country kind of, the laws are kind of the same. You know, your rights and your freedoms are lesser when you leave the country. Not that it's like a bad thing. Not that you're not a free person when you leave the country, because you're still American. But culture dictate social norms, and American culture is just what it is, American culture. But when you go outside the country, you find out that the culture outside of America, although different, is similar. There is a basic patriarchal structure. See, the rights here and the rights over there, just a little bit more, right? You may say they're a little bit more stricter. You may say they're a little bit more stricter, right? Whereas the rights here is a little bit more lax and more tolerant. So I'll say America is more tolerant. Outside the country, less tolerant. Some places they'll cut your hands off. Some places they'll cane you. And some places there's no due process. You just go to jail. So things are handled differently when you travel. But let's get back to it, man. I want to talk about shame. The shame. Let's get into a little bit of history, right? History of shame. For centuries, shame acted as a check on immorality. Public shaming deterred crime and revenge. Shame discouraged youth, rebellion, and sexual deviance. It upheld the social contract, didn't it? But it had a dark side too. Had a dark side. Shame was used by religious institutions to control people, and it often veered into cruelty rather than justice. Yeah, it's a coin. There's a light and there's a dark side, right? There's a good and the bad. There's a yin and there's a yang. By the 1960s, shame fell out of favor as too draconian. So we still had shame. We still had sexual morality. We still had traditions and cultures and things that were observed. Whereas today, the self-esteem movement, everybody's a winner, nobody's a loser. The self-esteem movement, the one that says, participation trophies for everyone because they showed up. The self-esteem movement, don't call my kid dumb or stupid. My kid's smart. All kids are smart. Don't call kids ugly. All kids are cute. The self-esteem movement said shame damages kids. So what do we replace shame with? If we're no longer going to tolerate shame, and we're going to become more tolerant of others and whatever they're lacking in, what came in replace of shame? Well, let me tell you. Rising individualism. Rising individualism made it seem oppressive. Shame became a taboo. Shame became a taboo. Can you imagine that? What some of the things that we see today that we would deem as taboo, it's no longer taboo. Now, shame has become the taboo. Now, of course, America still had plenty of problems. We still got crime. Let's be real. There still is racism out there, although not as blatant. I'll come to admit. There's all types of violence. Men and women, crimes. Crime is on the rise. As a matter of fact, crime is on the rise, especially in the female gender. You're gonna see what's going on in the next couple of years, man. I'm telling you, 2030, be ready, man. A lot of 80. We're looking at the men, right? The men are declining marriages nowadays, but what does that lead? That leads a bunch of, if you don't marry a woman, that leads a bunch of single women. And who's going to protect those women? The government. The government has been protecting the women and the children. Hasn't been the men. Extreme shaming is rejected, man. We just don't do it. It's a shame to shame, right? They're gonna shame you for shaming somebody else, right? The person that calls the person fat, the world comes back and shames that person for calling that person fat. Can't call people fat anymore. Just can't do it. However, in throwing out shame, we did lose something vital that holds society together. By throwing out shame, we did lose something vital that holds society together. But I want to ask you the question. Did we? Did we? Did we? Shame. We just got rid of shame, man. We just got rid of shame. And we never should have got rid of shame, right? We never should have got rid of shame. Shame is still needed. Tell you this story. I knew this gentleman from Japan. And he told me that things are much different in Japan than they are here in America. He says shame is very much present. You work hard. You work extremely hard because you don't want to let your family down. You don't want to shame your family. In fact, most people, they don't really fire you in Japan. You just quit because it's too shameful to keep working. What do I mean by that? It's too shameful to keep working. They don't fire you. So a gentleman made him a big mistake. Big mistake. Maybe I think he might have lost a big deal, like a big company deal. The company was so mad at him that he wrecked this deal. This deal was a lot of money. That they cleared out a janitor's closet space and put a desk in there. And he had no window. And he had the thing to turn the light on. And when he arrived at work, they put him in that office and said, sit here for 8 hours. 8 hours a day. 7 days a week. Sit in this office. We're going to pay you the exact same salary that you're paying. But this is your job now. You're now going to be a desk job. Now, maybe in America, some people might be like, man, you mean all I got to do is show up at work and sit in this room for 8 hours and I get paid the exact same money that I was paid as if I was closing big deals? Might sounds like something you'd be interested in, right? But see, over there, there's something called shame. Over there is something called the shame of your family. Can you imagine telling people that you blew a deal and they put you in the janitor's closet and that's your new job to sit there for the rest of your life? and not add or take away from the company, but you just sit there and you show up. So the shame of that, call that person to quit. You see, shame is needed, y'all. We can't get rid of shame, man. Unfortunately, in America, we're not allowed to point out. We're not allowed to tell people that they're messing up. We're not allowed to spank people's kids. Kids get out of line. The village doesn't raise them anymore. The government protects them. You can't go around. They used to be, back in the 50s and the 60s, they used to be able to still spank kids if they messed up in school. The teacher was allowed to take a ruler or take a paddle and spank your child, and that was considered socially correct. That was socially normal back then. That was part of the deal. But now that they can't do that, and you don't do that because don't hit my kid. My kid's special. Every kid's special now. No kid is all kids are special. All kids are smart. Right? That's why we have the bell curve, right? Right. The bell curve is there so all kids can be smart. So the bell curve is there so the smartest kid and the dumbest kid, and they take the average, and that dumb kid, based on however smart the smartest kid is, gets to be a little bit smarter, right? Even though he got 56%, he might get 68%, and 68% might be might be a B now. Let's just say that 68% becomes a B now instead of a C because of the bell curve. 83% becomes an A now instead of a B because of the bell curve. Why? Because we don't like shame. We don't like our kids to feel the pain that they messed up and they need to do better. That's what's wrong with our society. That's what's wrong with these lovely ladies. Nobody can shame them. Nobody can say shame on you for coming outside the house dressed like that. Whereas in the 50s and 60s, if you came out looking like half these women look today, the town, the whole town be talking to them. I mean, by gosh, these women walk around with the Muppet eyelashes, right? Excessive makeup, looking like a hoe, if I might add. Hoes are the ones that wear the makeup, see? Hoes wear the makeup, see? They got all dolled up with the red lipstick, and then you know why red is so popular? Because it's exotic. It speaks sexuality. So here we are. Here we are. The problems with shamelessness. Look at our shameless culture today. Reality TV, social media, narcissists grab their 15 seconds of fame on YouTube. Social media grants a platform. We know and y'all know a platform I'm talking about. Grants a platform to racists and conspiracy theorists and trolls. Without shame, misinformation and fake news is spread like wildfire. Why? Because there's no shame. Anybody can lie. There's no common decency. Civility and ethics disappear from public discourse. Lawyers help the rich dodge accountability. Pop singers like Lizzo proudly models her naked backside to promote body positivity. Politicians spew lies without blinking. Apps promote bullying to kids. Why? When everyone is shouting, look at me in this circus, in this insane asylum, in this mental health institution. This place is a mental hospital. Society loses all purpose and meaning in a place with no shame. Think about that for a minute. Social media stokes narcissism and validation seeking. Like, love, 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 laugh, laugh. All of this stuff, all these clicks. We can't operate without picking up our phone in the morning. We can't operate without that. Hold on real quick, you guys. Let me just do this. So we can't operate without that. Without any shame, we lose social guardrails that curb humanity's worst impulses. The desires for power, pleasure, revenge. Ego is restrained. There's no motivation to be informed, humble, compassionate, or just. When nothing is too shameful, integrity and morality rot from within. When nothing is too shameful, integrity and morality rot from within. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. What do we do? Take a quick break, about 42 minutes into the show. This is the time now, you guys. Go ahead and like the broadcast. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Man, go ahead and pause the video if you're watching the rewatch right now. You're not watching it live. Just go ahead and pause the video and check out some of my shorts on my YouTube and my other videos. And then come back to this video and finish it up. But we got some more to show you guys, man. Let's get into it. The shame of America. Is shame necessary? The function of feeling ashamed. The S of Shamerica. Let's get to it.
You choose that man to be your man, handle that man like that's your man. I will never bring my man no shame. It would never be a nigga out here that's talking about, oh, well, she was flirting with me in the DM, or, oh, I met her somewhere, or we had a conversation that was a certain, no. I respect the legacy. No shame. I bring you no shame.
I bring you no shame. Where's she at, though? I bring you no shame. Where you at, sweetheart? I bring you no shame. No shame. Where are the ladies like that? Here's the truth. Societies cannot exist without shame. Judicious shaming is what builds conscious character. It keeps communities civil and functional. Think of shame as a teacher, right? Shame teaches kids to control their impulses and follow social rules. It instills work ethic and self-restraint. Shame creates social cohesion. Let me say that again. Shame creates social cohesion, y'all. It punishes free riders who only think of themselves. Shame reinforces positive norms, honesty, loyalty, fairness. Healthy shame establishes boundaries. It establishes privacy and respect. It creates unspoken agreements on ethics and etiquette. Used properly, shame balances individual liberty with care for others. It's always freedom, but discourages hurting fellow citizens. It allows freedom. That's what shame does. It allows freedom. Now, of course, as a mental check, shame is easily abused. It's like anything, man. It's a tool. Shame can be good, used for good, and used for just like anything. It's a tool. A tool can harm and a tool can build. But some shame is vital to preventing anarchy and social Darwinism. When should we shame? When should we shame today? Anytime a person's action shows a gross lack of ethics, wisdom, or care for society, we need to shame them. Blatant lying and spreading misinformation, I think that should be shamed. Those who create fake news or push unfounded conspiracy theories deserve condemnation. Now, let me say this: not all these conspirators are false. Some of these conspiracy, it's only a conspiracy until it's true. How about that? So we got to be mindful. Racism should be shamed into silence. Come on, man. Anytime, we gotta keep shouting down those white supremacists, man. We gotta keep shouting down systematic racism. We gotta keep shouting down. Their ignorance damages lives and communities. Social media platforms must not validate bigotry. How about that? Must not. We got to shame it. When we see bigotry on social media, the same way they attack, we need to attack back at them. The same way they try to we got to get them we got to match them at the same level, because everybody's hard on the internet. Everybody's tough, right? Shameless financial corruption and corporate greed must end. I'm on my soapbox now. I'm just on my soapbox. The rich should not be allowed to flaunt luxury from ill-gotten gains. Politicians must be shamed for enabling tax avoidance. Egregious environmental pollution calls for shaming and boycott. Denial of facts. Denial of our God-given right to be critical thinkers. Not allowing someone to critically think and trying to tell me what to think. That should also be shamed. Abusers like Harvey Weinstein should be shamed. CNN reporters like Andrew Cuomo should be shamed publicly as a warning. The Me Too movement brought productive shaming of predators, right? The Me Too movement. That was when shame was actually used as a weapon. Shaming men, the shaming tactic. See, here's the thing. Modern women and feminism, when they crept in, right? They weaponized shame. They call it toxic masculinity anytime you exude anything masculine. It's okay for a man to be masculine, or for a woman to be masculine, but not okay for a man. In other words, extreme selfishness that harms the social fabric should be shamed. But shaming the trivial only breeds resentment, right? My friends, the Moxie Nation, the Moxie crew, my constituents, my peers, my peoples, my subscribers. To save our unraveling society will require bringing back judicious, proportional shame. This is not a call to enact puritanical, draconian shaming. I'm not talking about the scarlet letter, although that's not a bad idea. Nor is it to license to be cruel, right? We don't want to weaponize shaming like feminists did towards men. We don't want to do that. We don't want to use the same cruel method that these modern women have been using on us back on them. We don't want to do that. But we do want to call a spade a spade. Right? We do want to make sure we're on the right side of history when we point the finger. Rather, it's a plea to revive the pro-social functions of shame. That's what this is about. I'm pleading with you guys. Let's bring back shame. Let's revive it. Building conscious, enforcing ethics, creating social bonds with compassion and wisdom. Let us help each other follow our better angels again. Let's be righteous. Let's go back to our conservative mindsets. Let's go back to the nuclear family. Let's go back to what's been working for eons. Let's stop with this new age. Let's stop with this neo nonsense, this neo tantra. Let's stop focusing on the things that just seem to be pleasurable, and let's focus on everything, and let's use a magnifying glass when we do. Let's inspect everything. Let's make sure we're doing it right. Our liberty needs limits to prevent descending into narcissist anarchy, like we're about to. America is not spiraling upwards, it's spiraling downwards. We're in the decline. We're watching third world countries become second and first world countries. We're watching countries that used to fear us, like, man, I don't fear you. You're not going to tell me what to do. In these divided times, we have abandoned concepts like honor, loyalty, discretion, dignity. But living shamelessly has rotted our shared morality from within. Let shame once again be a teacher, reinforcing the values of democracy and justice. We gotta balance the weight, man. The weight has to be balanced once again. It can't always be unbalanced. With conscientious citizens united by healthy shame, America can fulfill its potential as a beacon of hope for humanity. Now, I was just on a podcast, I told you, and man, I never thought of it before, but it's so true. America's on the decline, and the demographics are going to change, right? The Black community, we were doing well, right? But now we're like less than 12% of the population. After 20 million babies got aborted, I wonder why. And now our Hispanic brothers, right, are not single, but our Hispanic brothers, our Mexican brothers, our Latino brothers, you know, all the Hispanic community has kind of come under one flag, and they're quickly becoming, where they are right now, the second majority next to white people in this country, next to the dominant society. They are quickly becoming the dominant society. And as a shout out to Dennis Burden for saying this, he's the one that got my mind thinking on this, and I believe it to be true. He's saying that the Latino culture, they will be taking over America real soon. It's just inevitable. They have the numbers, they have the family intact, and they have the culture. It's even though they're becoming Americanized, they still have some things to their culture that checks them and keeps them reared in. As American culture is debauchery, and unfortunately, in the black community, it's kind of leading the way in the degeneracy. And I want to add this: just like in any society, there is good and there is bad in any race, color, or ethnic group. Nobody claims the degenerates. You don't see white people claiming white trash. You don't see Hispanic people claiming Hispanic trash. And just like you shouldn't expect black people to claim black trash. We have degenerates, this hookup culture, this twerk culture, right? This sexual liberation, this degeneracy. And we need to reject that and stand firm in what we know to be true. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. So I told y'all we was only going an hour. We're right at the 56-minute mark. Leave me a comment, man. This is we're gonna do another show on Wednesday, and we're gonna combine. We're gonna talk to our Canadian brothers and see what's going on there. See how their politics and what's going on with their society and how it matches up closely to the big brother here, America, right? So we'll do that on Wednesday, right? We'll do that. We'll have that talk on Wednesday. But I wanted to open this discussion up for you guys. A little bit of back pain. I wanted to open up the discussion for you guys, man, and just put it out there. What's missing in America? Let me tell you what's missing in America. Let me tell you what's necessary in America. Shame. That's what's missing, and that is what's necessary for America. Me, I'm still a patriot, you guys. I love this country. I'm born in this country. I'm a foundational Black American. My ancestors helped build this country. I'm a patriot. But I'm not foolish enough to see that every nation has a rise and decline. And usually you see it. You see it when the morality becomes low, becomes base, when a nation becomes too tolerant, or we allow all things to be good and all things to be profitable for us, and that's not true. All things are not good. All things are not profitable. Everything in moderation. So with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna wind it down. But I am Too Much Moxie. Thank you for listening to another hard conversation. This is the Too Much Moxie Show. And until next time, my friends, we are out. Peace. Have a good night. And, we got to go out with the outro music here. So let me bring y'all out the right way. Take care.
Yeah, I feel like